people, CzarThwomp here, and welcome to episode 42 of Phoenix Wright Trials and Tribulations. Last time, we just did some more investigating. We investigated the garden outside the Inner Temple, and we basically discovered that Misty was... at least Dustin was in fact Misty Faye, Maya's mother and the master of the current channeling technique. There was an earthquake, Edgeworth fainted, lost Iris, though we found Iris, and now the door has 5 psych locks. Yay. Yeah, the trick locks. Now then, Iris, please remove these at once. I'm sorry if my voice is a little off.
Mr. Edgeworth, I'm afraid I can't. It's not possible for me.
What? But it's possible for me! I will solve this with logic! I will use logic chest! Stand back, everyone! And then Edgeworth, he creates the logic chest and locks, I command you to break open! Now! Edgeworth just starts throwing kings, queens, rooks, knights, everything at that door! During the earthquake, when the cavern was in danger of caving in, Iris escaped. I know that there was only one lock when I last came here. So you're saying that you can't undo the new locks?
Yes.
If only I was stronger! If only I had no inner demons! Damn you, Von Karma! Damn you for giving me daddy issues! Edgeworth, how are you feeling? You look a little pale in the face. Like you're one to talk with your face all green? Miles, Edgeworth, go get some air. I'll watch over the suspect. You go and get a grip on yourself. Don't be ridiculous. I'm perfectly There's no one telling what sort of mistakes you could make in your current state. Go and get some rest. That's your only concern now, Miles Edgeworth. Don't worry, Miles Edgeworth. I have enough daddy issues to cover the both of us. Understood. I'll handle the investigation in the garden. You take care of things here. Edgeworth. He's got so much pride that he's probably off crying in a corner of the garden. Pride is simply another trap that hinders us in our lives. That said, one must have pride to be effective at their job. At any rate, it seems that this is where we part ways, Phoenix Wright. I'm gonna stay here and see if I can't help solve these bothersome puzzles. I see. Well, thanks for your help. Now then, do you mind if I ask you a few things, Iris?
No, not at all.
Could you take a look at this for me, Iris? Yow! The locks are far more important at this moment, wouldn't you agree? She's right. I'm going to have to hold off on asking her about things for now.
I'm sorry, Mr. Wright.
Why did you make a run for it, Iris?
I'm sorry. I heard the Inner Temple had been severely shaken by the strong earthquake we had. I was so worried. I just had to come and see.
In other words, you didn't run away to escape the law. At least we're clear on that.
I can tell you how relieved I was when I saw the secret cavern was alright, but
what?
Then I saw these chains here. I saw all these extra locks that someone had put on the secret cavern door and... Who in the world would have done something like this?
Trick lock.
These trick locks are a sacred treasure of the Korean tradition. There are hundreds of ways to set them. Only the person who set the lock can open it.
I'm sorry. And you aren't the one who set these locks? I don't think it's that simple, Francisco Von Karma. When we were here the first time, there was only one lock. But now, somehow, there's 5 of them.
What does this mean?
It means that someone wanted to secure the place even more. And they wanted to secure it before you got here, Iris. Presumably because they wanted to make sure Maya couldn't get out. This means that Iris can only open one of these locks, the first one.
Yes, that's correct.
What? Iris, try to think, please. Isn't there any way around this?
Well, like I said, there are hundreds of different ways to set these locks. I suppose if I went through every combination with each one, I could remove them. But
it will take time, won't it?
Yes, about a day, if I had to guess.
A whole day? Well, that's better than leaving the locks in place. Will you do this for us?
Sure, I'll do whatever I can.
We've got to wait another day? Hang in there, Maya. You're going to have to call on your inner strength now. You know what, Iris? There's still one thing I don't quite get. And what might that be, Phoenix Wright? I think it's obvious. Iris, on the night of the murder, where were you? Please, Iris, don't give me that look. You told us that you were in your room at Hazakura Temple at the time of the incident, correct? But you were seen at the same evening at the Inner Temple. And then, you were spotted at the scene of the crime in Hazakura Temple, too. Being spotted at both Hazakura Temple and the Inner Temple. It's as if you were... Well, Iris, I think it's about time you told us the truth. I knew it. There's something going on here that we don't know about. Oh, forgot to turn the timer on! February 9th, Inner Temple, Garden. The cops are still combing the place. They look pretty nervous. I'd be nervous too. It's gotta be a tough job. Especially with someone giving you the evil eye the whole time. Damn earthquakes, damn daddy issues. How could I have done that? Wow, I can't believe it's still bothering him. Edgeworth. Ah! Hey, don't you dare run away! Don't you walk me right! What do you want, Wright? What do I want? If you came here to laugh at me, then get on with it! Go on, laugh away! Laugh at the monster that is your friend! I was ready to hug it out with him, but he's just the same prideful Edgeworth. Yes, and so the Wrightsworth ship flames get fanned on. You went back to the Criminal Affairs Department, right? You said you wanted to look into something concerning Iris? Yes. And thanks to what I found, I was reminded of something terrible. I was reminded of that damn nose bimbo who almost cost me my record! Oh, one thing is, show Edgeworth Gumshoe's profile. You get a good amount of commentary on just how Edgeworth is about their relationship. I was just with Detective Gumshoe. I treated him to some pasta. You owe him that much. After all, it's your fault his salary is so low. Gumshoe has to earn a pay raise, right? It's principle. How is it my fault? You're the one who keeps cutting Edgeworth. And look, if you're going to buy the guy lunch, at least give him something decent, okay? Gumshoe practically lives on pasta and noodles already. Well, I did order some extra Parmesan cheese on top. Wow, Edgeworth. Wow. That's one way to roll out the big bucks, Edgeworth. You're willing to charter a private jet, but yet, God forbid, you don't spring for anything more than Parmesan cheese. Something that comes free with the meal. He was crying tears of joy as he dug into it. It was quite moving. And then Edgeworth is completely unfazed by this. Edgeworth, he's like, he sees his subordinate crying tears of joy over Parmesan cheese. And yet Edgeworth sees no concern in that. He's like, oh God. Yes, because apparently in Edgeworth's world, like, crying over Parmesan cheese is as common a sight as crying over a sunset or crying at the death of a loved one. All you have to do is give the poor guy a raise. I will give Gumshoe a raise, right, when he earns the raise. One of the biggest names in the world of laws, I'm sure you'll agree. For better or for worse, we were only just to meet once in the courtroom. I know, I read all about it. It was the first time for the both of us, two novices, head to head. Though this actually does get Edgeworth is right in some sense of the word, in that it was his first trial. His real first trial, well, didn't even get to go to court. We'll be seeing that in the next entry in the series when I get to it. I can still remember how downhearted I felt after the trial ended the way it did. I mean, this was the second time this happened to me. I started to think, am I cursed? Am I cursed? And it didn't help that Mr. Von Karma, he just kept telling me that this was just all deserved. I deserved all for being the son of a defense attorney. I wonder if Mia felt the same way too. I don't know Maya Fey very well, but it seems to me that the girl is always landing herself in trouble. It seems to me that you know her better than you think. I do sincerely hope she's going to be alright. It seems Pearl was trapped on this side of the river on the night of the murder. Did she tell you anything? Listen, Wright. She's just a kid. I can't force things out of her. And plus, you know how I am with kids, Wright. You'll have to be the one to find out what she knows. He's something of a legend out here. Don't say like you don't know anything about him. Tell me what you know. Don't believe what Gumshoe says, Wright. I'm not some all-knowing god. I don't know everything about the universe. I can't raise the dead, Wright! It's a bit strange, actually. If he really was anything special, I should have heard about him by now. I'm always well informed about the rookies coming into the prosecutor's office, you know. Oh, how this is actually disproven very quickly in my favorite game in the series. We'll be getting to that, but it's wonderful. Well, but then again, Edward said the rookies with potential. Then you mean he isn't anything special? You should already know the answer to that. Although, there is one other possibility. What's that? He could have come into the profession from a different channel. What different channel? There's more than one way to become a prosecutor, right? Perhaps he started off as a defense attorney, but decided it wasn't for him. Maybe his daddy was also killed in an elevator, right? A defense attorney? I didn't even know you could switch sides like that. Right, don't you get any ideas about me? We are going to have an entire game focused on that dilemma. It's crossed my mind more once or twice that her testimony might be a bunch of lies. There certainly are a lot of problems with it. The thing is, as far as I can tell, she has no reason to deceive us. I believe she did meet the defendant at the inner temple and witnessed the murder too. The one Hazakor Temple courtyard in any case. Another victim we know nothing about, same as always. I hope you'll tell me if you know something about our mystery woman, Wright. I know that Elise Dosnin was nowhere near a visit to the temple. Yeah, tell Edgeworth. Yeah, remember when your father's spirit was channeled? Well, this is the woman who channeled it. In that case, Edgeworth, you'd be like, why did you root? You couldn't channel my daddy. You are a charlatan. Oh my god, just Edgeworth calling his father daddy. Do not tell me about daddy. You can't talk about daddy that way. But her true identity could be a useful weapon for the defense. I can't give that away just like that. Yeah, just drudge up all the bad memories for Edgeworth. Apparently, Iris was taken in by the sisters here at the temple when she was a child. However, we still don't know much about her past, so we're looking into it. That reminds me, Edgeworth went back to the criminal affairs department to look up some stuff on her. I should ask her what he found. Apparently, he had become something of an apprentice to Elise Durstin. Yes, something like that. He did this portrait of me earlier. That's great. Let's just leave it at that about Larry, alright? Looks like someone's still mad at the Butts for his performance in court today. It's been more than a year since I last saw Francisca myself, but it seems that she's been dying to see you again. She really said that? I believe she wants to eat you for breakfast, or to put it another way, whip you silly. Literally and metaphorically. Oh, go on, let her have her way. It would make for a great antidote about my trip. Forget it, Edgeworth. If you want to know how to run the perfect trial, there's a lot to study and learn. Oh, is that what you're studying about right now? I've sat at the prosecutor's bench for trials in 5 different countries now. The first thing you must do is gain complete mastery of the language. It's quite a task. I'd never get anywhere then. It's taking me a lifetime to sort of master one language. The investigation. You guys are putting a lot of effort into the investigating the garden here, huh? There's a high chance that this is the actual scene of the crime. That's why. You mean because of the writing in the blood and the talisman in the snow? Exactly. As you know, those things couldn't have been planted here after the murder. But surely, you don't suspect Maya, do you? We have to treat everyone as a suspect, Maya as well as Iris. It's our job, right? I forgot to investigate the place. These are torches of the naked flame variety. I guess you need all the light you can get up here in the mountains. According to Detective Gumshoe, they were lit on the night of the murder. Well, Maya was training up here, so there's nothing strange about that. Except, apparently they don't light these torches for training sessions. Huh? I heard that too much light isn't conducive to spear training. Oh, I didn't know that. Why is this the only area with no snow? Someone must have cleared it away. What other explanation is there? Of course, I played the what-if game as well. But when I asked our trusty bungler, Detective Gumshoe, he said it wasn't him. I suppose Edgeworth has a point. Whoever cleared the snow must have had a reason to do so. I just can't imagine what that reason could be. A little lantern, a little statue. It's small, but the whole place is incredibly well kept. There's just one thing that's troubling me. Everything else is covered in snow or frozen over. But the ice in this bowl has been broken by someone. Maybe one of the detectives washed their face in or something. Don't be ridiculous, Wright! No detective would be that careless at a crime scene! He's really angry. I'd better not say it was Gumshoe or his salary's gonna pay. Gumshoe's salary's gonna pay as it is. That's pretty much Edward's pastime. There's a charm or something poking out from the snow. It looks pretty old. There's a letter cord tied to it too. It belonged to the victim. We're sure of that now. It's going in the evidence room once the investigation's over. So hands off, Wright. You don't need to tell me that. Well, our dear friend Larry just tried to steal it when no one was looking. He probably just wanted something to remember his esteemed teacher by. I suppose you've noticed that Maya's name is written on this lantern. It's pretty hard to miss, you know. It's written in Miss Elise Dustin's blood. She was probably forced up against the lantern by the killer. Then, when her back against the lantern, she wrote that name with her finger. The original 301111. Sorry. Yeah, sorry. 10. Okay. 7011. Okay. 13011. Yeah, that's it. Sorry. Got the Leon thing mixed up. Yeah. You think the victim wrote this herself? Isn't that the obvious conclusion? But why would she write Maya's name? I don't think I want to discuss that with you. We gotta show Edward the defense attorney's badge. You gotta show him the badge. Is that your attorney's badge? Interesting. I never imagined I'd ever see you wearing one of these, right? It's because of you that I became one, Edgeworth. Not that I have any regrets, I really don't. If you're trying to say thanks, you can start by saying it a bit louder. What do you think about this, Edgeworth? Sorry, Wright. You're a defense attorney, and I'm a prosecutor. It wouldn't be right for us to discuss things so intimately. But you were acting for the defense in the trial today. Get that piece of filth out of my face, Wright! Throw it in the fire! Burn it with holy fire! You're still mad, huh, Edgeworth? I know a thing or two about Larry Butts, just like you. We both know he likes to act up, but this, even he couldn't make something like this up. If this is what he drew, then this is what he saw. As unbelievable as it may seem, I know. That's what I think too. Every single time I see that guy, he's up to it in his neck. Why can't I have peace in my life, right? Why can't I have normal friends? I knew it. Edward's still mad as a hornet at Larry. Okay. Earthquakes, that was worth it. So, I guess you still haven't gotten over your fear of earthquakes. No, thankfully, my nightmares have stopped. But still, if the ground gives even the slightest tremor, I find myself short of breath. 17 years ago, and we were little school kids at the same elementary school. Edgeworth found himself in the middle of a murder. It all started with that big quake that hit the courthouse. Yes, I was stuck in the elevator with my father, who was a defense lawyer. We were deprived of oxygen and we passed out. That's when it happened. That single gunshot shattered my whole life. I lost everything that day, all because of that earthquake. And because my mentor was a deranged lunatic who couldn't take a single penalty. My dreams, my family, and myself. It's been more than 17 years now. And that case was finally resolved 3 years ago, right? You think I don't know that? I was there! But it was such a shock. I never imagined I could be so wrong about myself in my life. I'm sorry, Wright. There's nothing else I can say. Not after you chose to become a lawyer for my sake. And not after you saved me. Edgeworth, you're stronger than you think. So no more of the self-pity, okay? There was something that bothered me about her from the moment we met. I felt like I had seen her somewhere before. No, wait. Not somewhere. I felt like I'd seen her in court before. So you went back to the Criminal Affairs Department to look for her file. Yes, I checked over every case file I've ever worked on. And I was right. I had seen her face before, 6 years ago. 6 years ago? It was my first appearance in court. And as cases go, it was my worst nightmare. So, who is she? I'm sorry, Wright. I can't give that information away to a member of the general public. Though you think that Edgeworth, he would do a little bit of digging, because Edgeworth is going to say, oh, Dahlia Hawthorne. But you think that if Edgeworth did a little bit of digging, he would know, he would find out that, oh, Dahlia was convicted because of Phoenix. Because basically Phoenix was the defendant. What? Why not? It might be a crucial piece of the puzzle that solves the case. The woman I knew was the daughter of a jewelry store owner. She had nothing to do with the Iris and Hazakura Temple, and neither did the case. No, that woman is completely unrelated to this murder. Unrelated? Yes, I can say that with complete confidence. You're wrong, Edgeworth. She's totally related to this case. I need to fill Edgeworth in. I need to explain the connection between Iris and the woman Edgeworth knew. Okay. Yeah, we have to break Bikini's psych lock to get the big twist that we're looking for. I'm finally getting to the bottom of this case. I can count on Iris to break those locks, so I should try to gather more clues from Sister Bikini, Edgeworth, Gumshoe, and Pearls. Okay, suspension bridge. Now, I think we can go to Heavenly Hall now and basically get some questionable things. February night, Dusky Bridge. It's weird that there's no one around all of a sudden. It sure gets quiet up here in the mountains when you're all on your own. Speaking of alone, I guess I should go check out that shack just down the path. Maybe I'll find Larry there sulking again. Oh, you'll find much worse, Phoenix. You will find so much worse.
Oh, Mr. Nick!
Pearls, what are you doing here?
Nothing. What about Mystic Maya? Is she alright?
Well, we don't know yet.
Oh, I see.
Hey, what do you think you're doing here, Nick? Yeah, Larry's all alone with Pearl in Heavenly Hall. And frankly, I would not be upset so much. I would be so worried about it. But considering that Larry did say that he would be down with doing Pearl dating Pearl if she didn't share the same name as one of his ex-girlfriends, I am scared. Like, it's like Haiji. Hey, what do you think you're doing here, Nick? Larry, this is the loser shack where losers get together to lose themselves. This is the what? Hey, we find comfort in each other's failures, okay? You got a problem with that?
Look, Mr. Nick, Mr. Lori's that picture of me.
That's, great, Pearls. We're gonna gather firewood now. We'll be cooking some half-rotten potatoes over a miserable little campfire. Stay out of our way! I don't believe this. Why can't he try getting fired up or becoming a better man? No one believes a word I say anymore. Listen to me, Pearl. You don't want to trust this kind of guy, okay? I'm gonna let you down.
Oh, Mystic Maya.
Pearl, what'd he do to you? We're on... Yes, Phoenix takes out the doll. Pearls, where on this doll did Larry touch you? It's no good. She's in no condition to look at anything from me right now. Larry, is there something you want to tell me about this picture? I've got nothing to say to you, Nick. My wife's here now with Pearl. Two losers cooking potatoes together forevermore. What am I going to do with him? Alright then, what do you think about this picture, Pearls?
I think it's really well drawn. I can't draw it all, so I think it's really amazing.
See, someone appreciates it. It's tough getting the flames to look like that, you know.
It's always Sister Iris flying through the air, isn't it? I love it. It's like a dream, a wonderful fantasy.
No, it wasn't a dream. She really blew, I'm telling you. Iris really blew that night.
But Mr. Lori's...
Not you too. Please don't look at me like that, Pearl. Don't look at me like I'm some kind of nutcase. I beg of you. I guess this picture really is a representation of what Larry thinks he saw. Okay, so I was half asleep when I was here that night. But I was wide awake after the lightning struck. And I saw what I saw. It was exactly like I drew in this picture. And it looks like I don't have any choice but to take this sketch at face value. Hey, what's the look of that on your face? Pearls.
Yes, Mr. Nick?
I've been meaning to ask you about the night of the murder. Where were you, and what exactly were you doing when it all happened?
I was just, well, I'm just a kid, you know. I'm sure it doesn't really matter what I was doing, does it, Mr. Nick?
Sorry, Pearls, but yes, it does. On the night of the murder, you were supposed to be in Miss Justinian's room reading a book together. But Miss Justinian was murdered, and you, Pearls, were at the inner temple. Just what exactly happened that night? Pearls?
I'm really sorry, Mr. Nick.
This is the case of 5 Cyclocks, literally. Just, you get so many 5 Cyclocks.
I've been a bad girl. I know I'll be punished.
What are you talking about, Pearls?
My spiritual power, it has disappeared.
What? Her powers have disappeared. Sorry. Was this pirate before? Look at this graffiti scrawled in the front of the shack. At least he managed to get a pretty good likeness. When I really think about it, I guess art kind of suits him. I mean, his very existence is an art of sorts. Oh, Phoenix is reading the exact same thing again. Might as well talk about this, and then I think we have to go back to the inner temple. What do you mean your powers have disappeared, Pearl?
It's all over for me. A spirit medium who can't channel spirits is like a painter who can't paint.
Hey, what do you look at me for? Pearls, did you try to channel someone's spirit right at Haiji Temple? Tried but failed, perhaps? Way to go, Nick! You made her cry! That was really cruel of you! Just as I thought. I'm going to have to break her Cyclock to get the truth out of her. Suspension bridge. Okay, and a temple main gate. I think we can examine the incinerator one more time. There's something strange about this incinerator. I'm sure there was snow on it the first time I saw it. That and the door's open. Someone's been burning something, that's for sure. It's a shame that there isn't a trace of what was left inside. Okay. Okay, just want to make sure. Suspension bridge. Main gate. 39th Haiji Temple, main gate. I wonder if Sister Bikini has gone back to the main hall already. I haven't seen Gumshoe around for a while either. Maybe they're having a cup of tea together somewhere. I bet Gumshoe is Sister Bikini's type. What's that supposed to mean, Phoenix? No! I didn't want to go back to the suspension bridge. I wanted to go back forward. Main gate.
Well, what's the damage? How is the sacred cavern?
It looks like it survived. But we have a bigger problem now. I told Sister Bikini all about it. About the 5 locks that were stopping us from getting inside the sacred cavern.
But who could have done that? The only people who know how to set those trick locks are those of the current tradition.
We have Iris at the sacred cavern trying their best to open them for us right now. Actually, there's something I've been meaning to talk with you about, Sister Bikini.
Oh, yes. We were in the middle of a chat, weren't we?
Yes, you were telling me about how the Master Crane disappeared 17 years ago. I want to know why Misty Face suddenly appeared at this temple.
It was about a week ago when Misty arrived. After she showed me the talisman that proved she was the master, she said, "Someone is trying to destroy the current tradition's main family line. I'm here to put a stop to them."
Someone was trying to destroy the main family line?
There is only one heir to the title of master at any time, and it's usually the eldest. That child becomes the new Master Karen, and her daughters the main family. All the other mediums become branch family members with no hope of controlling the clan. That's why nothing has changed throughout the history of the clan. Branch families always have an always weird plot to erase those of the main family line.
Is the power of the Master worth that much bloodshed?
We have nothing else, Mr. Wright. Look at that mountain. We live on that mountain. We have nothing. You believe in the technique, don't you, Mr. Wright? You know its power is here?
Yes, I do. It's been 3 years since I first met Maya. In that time, I've seen her channel the spirits of the dead plenty of times. She's channeled one person! during the Master to Mask case. And during Maggie Bird's trial, too. Thanks to Maya, Mia's always on hand to help me out when I need her the most.
I can never rest in peace! Darn you, Remix! Why can't I have peace? The current technique has made a huge difference to the world, you know. I mean, the ability to commune with the dead. That's true psychic power, you know. Members of the tradition have always been there, behind every important leader. Who wouldn't respect such a tremendous skill?
I suppose so, but with all the power and influence, I kinda expected you'd be really rich by now.
Are you saying we're poor, Mr. Wright? Ho ho ho! You're very direct, aren't you? People don't believe in us anymore, you see, all because of one little mistake.
A mistake? What mistake?
It was 17 years ago. That's when everything came crashing down. All because of that incident.
That incident? Is she talking about what I think she is?
I'm sure records still exist if you're interested. Locked up, of course.
You think that Bikini would know Phoenix's involvement in DL6? That she resolved it? I mean, literally, it saved the village.
It was called the DL6 incident. That's the name of the file.
The DL6 incident, huh? You can never run away from the DL6 incident. The DL6 incident. I know it well. I handled a related case just 3 years ago.
Ah, that's right. So it was you who was the defense attorney on that case.
A murder that took place 17 years ago. It was the first time in the country's history that the police ever used a spirit medium. The idea was to channel the victim's spirit to learn the identity of the murderer. Even though the victim was unconscious, in an elevator with only 2 other people. And the medium who performed this channeling was Misty Faye, Maya's mother. Through Misty's channeling, the name of the chain of a certain man surfaced. Armed with that as evidence, the investigators were spurred into action. But literally, it kind of makes you wonder though. I mean, they knew Yanni was in the elevator. I mean, like, really, when they got there, they saw, I mean, they probably found Yanni in the elevator knocked out unconscious with Edgeworth. I mean, I don't think it would have been that hard to piece things together. He was found not guilty, wasn't he? He was found, it was an insanity plea. So it was basically it was basically just, he did it, but yet he was basically insane. That was the consensus.
That's right, he was, and the case remained a mystery. In other words, we failed. It was the first case the world had ever seen the current tradition openly involved in. It was all over the media, the public, the judiciary, the people of current village. Everyone judged her. Everyone said Misty's powers were a sham. And then she just disappeared, vanished, while everyone still thought of her as a fraud.
But I know the truth. Misty Faye's spirit channeling wasn't a sham after all.
Of course it wasn't. And since you managed to reveal the truth, we're finally making a comeback. The current tradition is starting to recover at last. Except, of course, that red-cladded man that you are with, he's constantly insulting us on social media.
Edgeworth, he goes onto every site. They are a sham! They could not challenge my daddy! Because Edgeworth goes and he's trying to strike him down via the internet.
But with a new master wielding the power of the clan,
does she mean Maya?
We are doomed. The spiritual powers of the current chanting technique is in the blood.
Maya's told me the exact same thing before.
We, the women of the Fae family, have always been spirit mediums. It's because the power to communicate with spirits flows strongly to us.
According to Maya, only the women in the family can inherit that power.
The main family's bloodline stems directly from Isigami. But with each new generation, only one daughter becomes the new master.
And the ones who don't become branch families, right?
That's right. And it always the cause of tragedy.
You know, Maya has a sister too, an older sister named Mia.
Oh yes, I've heard of her.
What? You know about Mia?
Of course. She became a lawyer in the hopes of discovering what happened to her mother.
Really? Yeah, Bikini didn't recognize Maya. Just disown Maya. And lost her life as a result.
Do you know what Misty Mia was rumored to have said? She said it wasn't only because of her mother that she became a lawyer. She also didn't want to fight with her sister over the leadership of the tradition.
Frankly, Maya would have been more than happy to give Mia the title of master. I mean, all Mia would have had to do was give Maya burgers. Give Maya a burger or a TV, and she'd go along with anything, really. Really?
Well, she saw what happened to her own mother, Misty, as she grew up. I guess Mystic Mia got tired of seeing all the rivalry between her mother and her aunt.
That's right. Misty Faye had an elder sister too, and Misty, having superior powers, managed to usurp the master's seat from her.
Misty's sister is Morgan Faye. Mystic Morgan, as you probably know.
Morgan. There's a name I know well. It was a year ago at Maya's home, Curring Village. I love how they're cloaking Morgan in shadow, as if Morgan is this mysterious being. We meet her right at the start of Reunion and Turnabout. It's the second case in the game. What she did was terrible. It was all so she could make her own daughter the next master.
I suppose if you know about Mystic Morgan's daughter, then you must have already realized that Iris...
Huh? Iris? What's Iris got to do with any of this?
That Iris is Mystic Morgan's daughter.
Dum dum dum. What? Iris is what? She kidding me? Iris is Morgan Faye's daughter? Morgan and Iris. Did you just say that Iris is Morgan Faye's daughter?
Oops, I thought you already knew. It sounded like you'd met one of Mystic Morgan's daughters already.
I have. I know her very well.
Huh?
Yes, Pearl Faye. But I always thought she was an only child.
You jest! That child, she's Mystic Morgan's? How could a child like that command of a woman like that? Literally, it was a miracle that she had children to begin with. I had no idea. Mystic Morgan. But she's in prison now, isn't she?
Yes, ever since she was found to be a co-conspirator in a murder case last year. Yeah, then they show Morgan. They still try to give Morgan this puppet master vibe. It was all done as that Pearl's up as the next master.
I see. So I've been wrong all this time. Mystic Morgan had 3 daughters, not 2.
And now you start to get the real twist about Dahlia's role in all this. What? The 3?
Yes, Iris, her twin sister, and Mystic Pearl.
Bum dum dum. Yes, and then Phoenix the gears start to go into Phoenix's head that he was dating Morgan's daughter. He was so close to getting into that mess of a family. What? Twin sister?
Oh, didn't you know? It all happened 20 years ago.
Like, I love how Bikini acts like the stuff that is just completely unknown to people is like obvious back, yet she doesn't know about Maya and Pearl. Like, her knowledge of the family is kind of a strange patchwork, really.
After the clan leadership was taken from her by her sister, Mystic Morgan's life crumbled. It wasn't many years later that Current's reputation hit an all-time low. When Mystic Morgan's husband realized his wife would never become the master, he left her in the village, taking the twin daughters with him.
How awful!
He was a jeweler, you know. In the end, he remarried, and that's when it happened. He decided to give one of his girls up to be looked after by us here at the temple. That was Iris, you see.
It's unbelievable. Iris had a twin sister. Could it be? Could you please tell me one more thing, Sister Bikini? What was the name of Iris' sister?
I'm sorry, Mr. Wright. I just can't remember. All I can recall is her father was a jeweler.
Well, that's a clue, I guess. A jeweler. Thank you very much. You have cleared up a lot of details. Pearl's had 2 older sisters, huh?
Yes, that's right. No doubt it was all because of Mystic Morgan's anger towards the main family.
Anger? What do you mean?
Her twin daughters were taken from her by her jeweler husband, but even that couldn't destroy her dreams that a child of hers would one day lead the clan.
That's why she had pearls.
It seems that the incident here was a result of Mystic Morgan's anger. It was to break free of the bars that confined her.
So Iris had a twin sister. The plot thickens. But this information will be useless unless I can flesh it out a bit. I need to ask one more question to get some more info. Anyways, I think now's a good time to end things off. I really appreciate that you stuck around to watch this episode. If you're a viewer, if you come back for the next one. If you like this video, like, subscribe, comment, share, do whatever you want. With that, I'll see you later. Bye.